Now, let's increase the complexity of this discussion just a little bit. Let's talk about engaging in a task analysis of a Texas essential knowledge and skill. So here is an example of a 6th grade tech, 6.21, and the text says, the student will organize and interpret information from outline, reports, databases, and visuals, including graphs, charts, timelines, and maps. Now, many teachers would say, well, that's my objective. That's what I need to teach. I would suggest, however, embedded in that tech is actually 6 separate objectives. So give me a second and let me transition to the whiteboard and let me show you what I mean. If you look at the document camera and what's projected on the screen, you will see that this particular tech actually has 6 objectives. Specifically, the student will organize and interpret information from outlines. He or she will do the same for reports, databases, graphs, timelines, and maps. Obviously, each of these is a separate objective and needs to be taught independently. For instance, you could say, not only is graphs a separate objective, but you could have multiple objectives within that. You could talk about a line graph, a bar graph, a circle graph, a pictograph, multiple different types of graphs. We need to be careful when we look at the text, because the first question we have to ask ourselves is, are there multiple objectives embedded in the tech? If there are, we need to teach each of those objectives separately. So for instance, today we're going to focus on outlines. And the first one is the learner will organize and interpret information from an outline. And so again, let me move to the document camera and show you how we would do this. You see the tech is listed at the top of the document. Then we have extracted an objective. The learner will construct a topic outline using the correct format. The audience is the learner. What the learner will do is will construct. What will he or she construct? An outline. What are the criteria? It has to have a topic using the correct format. Our objective is observable, it's measurable, it has all 4 components. So now we want to brainstorm the sub-skills. What does it require to successfully design a topical outline? And so I have brainstormed for you 5 major areas. What is an outline? Why should we use an outline? What are the types of outlines? How do you make an outline? And what are the main components of an outline? And then under each, I've included the subtopics or components that would need to be taught. Now, the next question is baseline. What do the students already know? Assuming that we're teaching this to a group of 6th graders, I would not assume that they have any of these skills yet. It would be my intent to teach each of these skills to the students. So the 4th step in the task analysis is to outline the sub-skills in the order that I'm going to teach. So let me move to the document camera and show you how I've accomplished that. I took my sub-skills and I outlined them in what I perceive to be a logical format. Here is the order in which I would teach the sub-skills. How many days it may take to teach those sub-skills is a decision that the teacher would need to make. Is it 1 instructional period, 2 instructional periods? That's up to the teacher. But you'll notice that the sub-skills are sequenced in hopefully what is a logical format. And if I teach each of those sub-skills and the students understand each of those sub-skills, then hopefully as a result, the students will be able to create a topical outline using the correct format. Now, let me switch back to the PowerPoint for just a second. And let me share with you what your objective is. What I would like you to do is to select a tech, and using the template that is in your manual, I would like you to engage in a task analysis. The task analysis will include the following elements. Let me switch the laptop again. You will list the tech that you have selected. From that tech, you will identify the instructional objective that you plan to focus on. Then you will brainstorm the sub-skills that are necessary to accomplish that objective. Then you will determine if any of those sub-skills that you have identified the students already know. If they do, you'll list them under the baseline. And that means that you'll not teach them. Whatever sub-skills are not listed under the baseline, you will then list under the sequencing area, and you will put them in the order that you teach. If you've done it correctly, you should be able to take the sub-skills that are listed in the baseline, add the sub-skills under the sequencing section, and that should equal the total sub-skills that you identified. If you've done a good job, your task analysis will be complete. This will increase the likelihood that you will be successful in teaching your objectives to the youngsters. Good luck. I look forward to receiving your task analysis.